Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kim and today I'm bringing you my October TBR. And it's going to be interesting because I have books I've already chosen from my book boxes. I have my buddy read. I have one book that's rolling over from last month. I have books from NetGalley I want to read and also from Voracious Readers Only. And then I'm also going to randomly choose off my wheel 2 or 3 other physical TBR books that are on the shelf over here that I have not picked up yet. So I have books that I've already decided on, books that I want for my ebook copy review books, and then I still need to tackle for my project, my physical TBR project, this bookcase. And I am making progress. I'm pretty good about going through my books and seeing have I lost interest in any of them, and if I have, I've pulled them and I still need to do a DNF video, and that's helped keep it under a little bit more control because I am buying new books to supplement over here as well, because I get so many recommendations when I'm watching booktubers that have very similar interest to me, and it's like, that sounds very interesting. And I'm not one that, you know, follows a lot of the hype around books. Certain books just do not interest me, and then others I think I'm going to like, so I'll go look it up, and if the synopsis interests me, then I tend to pick up the book. So yeah, so I need to do a haul of booktubers made me buy it haul, because I'm already getting another set of books after my last haul I did. Yeah, so I've been in a buying frenzy, so that's not helping my financial situation, but that's okay because I love books and I'm reading all the ones. I'm getting set up for my buddy group as well for more fantasy style books for them, so that we can choose. But I'm going to read the Stormlight Archives series next after we finish the series we're currently doing. And then after that, I'm going to let the group decide what we read next. But that was already on my docket when I made the group, between the Red Queen, and then I wanted to read the Stormlight. Then after that, like I said, I'm going to let my group decide what books or book series we read next. Alright, so enough of this huge introduction. Alright, so I'm going to start with the books that I've already pulled. These are my physical books, and then my e-copy books, I will put up a picture of them up on the screen for you guys so you kind of have an idea. A lot of them I'm not familiar with or really know a ton about them, so I don't have a lot to really say about them right now. This is just showing you what I'm interested in. I can tell you maybe the genre that they're in, that type of thing, but like I said, I don't know a ton about them. Alright, starting off with the first book. This came in my last, in September's Bookcase Club book. I was super excited to get it, but this is by Kathleen Cheney. I really loved the Dreaming Death by her. That was the first book I've ever read. Again, she sets this, I think, in the Middle East. This is called The Golden City, and I was super excited to get another book by her. It's not from the same series, but it still sounds very interesting to read. It follows Oriana and Dulio, I believe is his name, and they're investigating disappearances of servants from the elite of the city. So it sounded really good. I love the color scheme. It's awesome. Great kind of fall colors. It just draws me in. I really hope it stands up to the last book, because I'll be super disappointed if it's not as good or better. Alright, so the book that's rolling over from last month of September to October, this is A Noise Downstairs by Linwood Barclay. I've gotten a little ways in, but I haven't gotten that far, and I'm at the moment debating on DNFing it. I'm not sure yet. Some of it's very predictable, but it is starting to do this jumping around thing, which I don't like in books, because you're following so many different perspectives, and if that happens a lot, then it's hard to follow, and I typically don't like books like that. So I'm more of a fluid reader, but we'll see if it makes sense, and if I can keep up with it. We'll see if I continue it in October, but like I said, I don't mind DNFing books if it just doesn't hold my interest or attention. So hopefully it's going to get better though. I have high hopes for it. Alright, this book, this big chunker of a book, this is my buddy read. This is the last book in the Red Queen series by Victoria Aveyard. This is War Storm. This is the final book that you're following with Hare and how everything is going to come about. I've gotten a little bit of ways in. We have, I think, this go around, this big chunker of a book, about 9 chapters every week, so we can finish it in 4 weeks. And I think I've read 4 chapters today that I'm filming this video. So again, mainly on the weekend when I, get this chunker out. Might be able to read here or there. We'll see as my stamina hopefully will increase during the week. But it's really hard when you're on a computer for 20, over 8 hours a day, because I get to work early about an hour or so just to prepare and get things ready, which everything being online you would think would be already ready, but it's not. I swear I work way harder online than I ever did just physically teaching in the building. But yes, anyways, so yeah, I'm enjoying this series. Each book seems to get better and better. So I have high hopes from that. Hopefully it's not going to be a letdown, but it's going to be an awesome ending to a pretty decent series. Again, I won't rank it, my highest favorite young adult fantasy, but it's still decent, and I would definitely recommend it. Alright, so moving on into my Romance-opoly picks for this month. Again, these are books I would like to see read, but a lot of my Romance-opolis, if I don't finish them in 1 month, they go to the next automatically. So I'm not as heartbroken. These first 3 I'm definitely focusing on, most of my attention on, and then pulling in some of these others to kind of supplement my month. Alright, so this was from my September, my Thrill Club box that I got last month. This is The Hollow Tree, Who Danced with Mary Before She Died by James Brogden. So this is for what category? I don't know if I have this. I don't think I have the category, and I think this is the autumn, the seasonal book Autumn, and you can pick like gold and red or rust colors, or a book that has a tree on it. And it kind of sets for the October kind of theme, scary Halloween type thing. So I thought this would fit. It's kind of a yellowy green in the background, but it does have a tree on it, so I thought this kind of fitted. So I read up the synopsis of this when I did the unboxing, so I'm not going to go back over that. So if you really want to know about this book, go back and watch that video, because I do read the entire synopsis for you guys there. Alright, so that's the last physical book that I have. The rest will be pictures up on the screen. So the next book, this was kind of for the erotic Romance-opoly topic that I landed on the board, erotic. So this is menage style books. If you're not into that, I would skip over this book. This one I already own. It's called Love at Carlyle's. And this will be a reread of this book. I do enjoy this story. It's very heartwarming and touching, and she's still a kick-butt heroine, and they're also military men as well, so it's all of this combined. They're kind of retired out of the military, those type of things, but it's a great story. If you're looking into getting into kind of that genre element, then you might enjoy this Love at Carlyle's. So I really did enjoy it. Then I talked about The Hollow Tree. The next one, this book is from the Voracious Readers. It is A Hare in the Wilderness. It's a fantasy style book following a basically displaced princess and who's basically grown up. Sounds like she's grown up in the wilderness with kind of more native tribesmen or clansmen, and now she's trying to broker a peace between 2 different kingdoms. So that is kind of my idea of what this book is about, and we shall see how closely that actually happens. And that author is S.E. Turner for A Hare in the Wilderness. Okay, and then for Love at Carlyle's, that author was Dixie Dwyer. I don't remember if I told you that, but it's okay. Alright, so the next book, Taste for a Mate. This is a paranormal romance. Again, it's from a Romance-opoly. It is by Carrie and Ryan, and I got to thinking, because I'm reading another book on Audible, or listening to it, I should say, by Carrie and Ryan. I was like, I know that author. Why can't I think of any of the books? And then I went through my Kindle app, And yes, sure enough, I've read others by her, but I think the one that I am currently listening to is more of a YA fantasy, whereas this is an adult paranormal. So we'll see what I end up thinking about this other fantasy YA book that I'm currently listening to. It is going to be a reread, but I have not read it in years. But from what I can remember, a pack member finds his mate who works in a bakery, and they kind of fall in love, but there's a rival pack that takes her, and so now he's trying to get her back. That's kind of the gist of what I can remember about the book. And this is for the around town, the farmer's market. No, I think this is burger joint. It had to be where they had to have some sort of food involved in the story somehow, and she works at a bakery. She owns and works at her own bakery. So that's how that challenge was met. Anyways, so that is by Carrie and Ryan, so I'll have to decide, you know, what I think about it after I do this reread. Alright, so those are all, got one more, the 5th book for the Romanceopoly pick. It's Moon Called. It's definitely a reread. I love this series by Patricia Briggs, so I'm going to read it or listen to it after I listen to the current book that I am listening to by Carrie and Ryan. So yeah, I'll start that one when I'm done with that book. So yes, so I'm excited about that it came up as a pick. Because I had to read one off of a list of books to meet that particular challenge that the co-host had created. And that's one of the ones I already own, so I didn't have to purchase another book. So it's all good. So I'm excited about that to be included for this round of drawings, because I'm running out of spaces left to read. I think I only have 7 or 8 books, and then I will have completed my first round of Romanceopoly. So I'm excited about that. So again, if you want to see what my current board looks like, again, follow me on Instagram. That's where I post those pictures, and I think I've also posted it in 2 different posts on Twitter, because it won't do all my books in one tweet. But for both handles, it's Passion for Books 79, if you want to follow me there. So my NetGalley picks, I would at least like to read one of them in October. The first book I'll put up here is The Matriarch. It was the first one I got approved of for this upcoming month. It's by Annabelle McInnes, I think, McInnes, and it's called The Matriarch. Again, it is a fantasy style book following a matriarch who is warring against kind of more of a patriarch society, and they're clashing and all of those types of things. So trying to determine, that's about all I know of this book, because I don't remember the entire synopsis, but somehow she and I think the future king get together, and I know it's against both of their people's laws and those types of things, so there's going to be a lot of clashing going on there. So they're trying to bring her about peace, but we shall see how that turns out. The next book that I would like to read is also from NetGalley. It's called Custom Built. It's by Chantal Fernando, I think. And I think I just read one or listened to one. It was The Dragon's Lair in September. I think it's by the same author. So I think I'm not even sure of the characters' names, but I think the main male character has like an auto shop or motorcycle shop or something of that nature, and the female main lead ends up working for him, so it's going to be kind of an office romance type of thing feel to the book. So we'll see if that turns out to be true or not. Alright, so that is a romance book, kind of contemporary, more so romance book. The last NetGalley book that I was approved for was Trusting a Warrior. And this is by Melanie Hansen. So I think he is a retired military individual, and I think he works with canines, but I could be wrong. And I don't remember how the female characters worked into this scenario, but it sounded interesting at the time, and I'll tell you more about it when I get to it. But it did sound interesting, and I'm I've read other books where it's been military and trying to work with PTSD and that type of thing. And I think that's what this book is kind of revolving around, him adjusting back into normal society. And she ends up helping him, I think. But I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that yet. So for the Voracious Reader Only selections, I have 3 books that I would like to get to this month. One of them is called A Hare in the Wilderness. I think I talked about that earlier somewhere. Yes, it's part of my Romanceopoly. It is a Voracious Reader, and it's by S.E. Turner. I already talked about that for my Romanceopoly, but that is one of those books, as well as the Voracious Readers. A second one is the 11th Age. It is a fantasy book. It kind of is more of a young YA book. They have just graduated high school and it's taking off from there. So very young adults, like 18, 19 years old, going from there. And it is the fantasy style. It almost sounds like Otherworld melding or coming into our world type of fantasy. So yeah, that's about all I know about that book. So I'm interested in reading more of it and determining if I enjoy it or not. So we shall see. Because I'm very particular or picky about the type of YA books I like. Because I'm not a high school YA reader. I don't like books set in high school. So they have just graduated out, so it may be okay. And if it has more substance than just the petty high school-y type drama. Because I'm not into that type of genre. So I'm learning my taste. So I'm hoping now that they're out of high school and that's where it kind of takes off, that it will be good. So that is my hope for this book. Alright, and the very last book that I have chosen for this month for Voracious Reader, this is Under Your Skin. This is a horror style book and it's by Rose Mclelland, I think. Mclelland. Mclelland, I think. Yeah, I'm terrible with names. If you've been around my channel long enough, you know I struggle with some people's names. So again, it's a horror type of book. I think it deals with paranoia and things getting not literally under your skin, but getting on your nerves types of things, and it just leads to a lot of other things. But I could be wrong, but I know it is a horror book, and it's been on my list for a while to read, so it sounds like it'd be a good month in October to do that. So these are the pre-arranged books that I already had my eye on that I wanted to read this month, and now it's time to pull from my wheel for my physical TBR books, at least 2, maybe 3 other books that I would like to get to this month. Arbitrarily we're going to choose 3 books. So I already had 4 physical books picked out, and now we're going to draw 3 more. So I thought a fun way to bring you along as part of the drawing process was to put all of my books that are not in a series. So these are all independent books that I have not picked up. I have entered them all into a wheel. So it's going to be randomly pick, and then I will go grab them and show you what they physically look like. So let's do this together and let it spin and see what happens. Alright, so the first one is Wicked River. Okay. Let's see what the next one is. Alright, then Fear the Dark, which I believe is a Kay Hooper book. I'm not sad about that at all. And then the last one. And then the last book is The Fifth Wave. Alright, and so that is how I can randomly do that, and it gives me a list. Again, I have read her before, the author Kay Hooper. This is Fear the Dark. I don't remember if I've ever read this one. Let's see what it says. Something strange is happening in a small mountain town of Serenity, Tennessee. People going on routine errands never reach their destination. Over the past few weeks, it's happened to 5 men and women, and now a child. A team from the FBI Special Crimes Unit is immediately sent in. Agents Lucas and Samantha Jordan, partners in work and in life, have very different abilities. Samantha is clairvoyant and Lucas is able to find the lost and abducted. With them are new partners Dante Swan, a medium, and Robbie Hodge, a telepath. The town is already on edge of panic, but when a cop is killed, the team's hunt for the lost turns into something very personal and very dangerous. Tell me this is not the same, because this sounds very familiar, if I haven't already read that book. No. Okay. I was thinking that it was Hold Back the Dark. So this is a completely different book, but it's set, I think, in the same town. I think that's what threw me. No, this was in Prosperity, that Serenity. I am completely off my rocker. Okay. And this is a great blooper for this one, so hopefully I will enjoy this more than I did Hold Back the Dark. So this is Fear the Dark. So yes, that is on my list. This is also going to be another great video to edit. This is hysterical. Alright, this I've been wanting to read for several years now. I have seen the movie. So it'll be interesting to see if I like the book better than the movie. Most of the time I do. It's by Rick Yancey. It's Fifth Ways. I think it's a paranormal, YA paranormal type of thing. So we shall see what I think about it. And then the very last book, I believe, it came in one of my book boxes. I think maybe My Thrill Club, because I think it's more of a horror-esque style book. Wicked River by Jenny Milchman, I believe. So I believe it's set out in the wilderness, and people start doing bad things to one another, trying to survive. Basically is what this, I think, is about. So survival in the wilderness and bad things happen. So perfect again for October, so yay. That is my set of books. Again, I probably will not get to all of them, but we shall see how many I do get accomplished. If I get even half of these books read, I will be ecstatic. So yeah, but again, if they don't hold my attention, I don't mind DNFing books, but this would be a great start. Again, my buddy read is for sure in, and I know I really want to do this one in the Golden City for sure. But these are books that hold my interest in things that I'm very interested in reading. Let me know down below if you have read any of these books or heard about any of these authors, what your thoughts are on them, and all of that good stuff. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I hope you enjoyed today's video enough that you would want to stick around and see what else that I do. Anyways, I hope you have enjoyed the video. Thumbs up if you did. And until my next video, I hope you have a great one. Bye.